In a cozy cabin nestled amidst the dense North Carolina forest, Nydia and her blind son Solomon make their home. The only remnant of their father, a skilled hunter, is an audio recording where he explains their forced move here. He hopes the change of scenery will heal Nydia's illness. Unfortunately, it hasn't. Every day, Nydia sends Solomon to check the traps they've set. Solomon always ties a rope to his belt to ensure he can find his way back home. Nydia teaches Solomon how to set and clean traps. He's quite skilled at it. One day, Solomon catches a bug in a jar. The bug soon dies. Nydia explains that bugs need air, food, and water to survive. To celebrate Solomon's dad's birthday, one day, Nydia suggests they go fishing again. Solomon is excited. As they walk to the river, Solomon notices that all the animals and birds seem to have disappeared. A strange silence fills the air. Nydia jokes that they are scared of Solomon and mourns the fish in the river. Solomon laughs, but he can't shake the uneasy feeling. While sitting by the shore, Solomon suddenly asks Nydia about death. She is surprised but explains that death is a natural part of life, like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. But Solomon is young and full of life and should be thinking about the future. After hours of fishing without any luck, Nydia suggests they dig for worms. Solomon agrees and ventures deeper into the forest. He finds some worms and discovers a chain buried beneath the leaves. Nydia stops him from pulling the chain and tells him they should finish fishing for the day. They return home, where Nydia tends to the household chores, garden, and their goat. Solomon helps her dig up root vegetables. Nydia praises Solomon for his hard work, hiding the fact that she is feeling worse. In the evening, Nydia bakes a cake for Solomon's birthday. She wants him to sing a song, but he doesn't want to, so Nydia lets him blow out the candle. Solomon doesn't tell her his wish, thinking it won't come true. At night, Nydia plays a recording of Solomon's parents telling a story about a goat that ran away from a monster. Solomon asks Nydia why people die. She says it's like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon. Solomon doesn't understand. He says he believes in Nydia. Nydia disappears one day. She leaves Solomon a recording saying goodbye. She tells him 3 rules: share with the forest, sing their song when he's sad, and never take off the rope. Solomon grows up alone. He hunts, fishes, and chops wood. When he is sad, he listens to the recording of his parent. One day, he hears a strange sound in the forest. He goes to investigate, but doesn't see anything. Unable to sleep, Solomon goes outside. He hears his goat crying. He runs toward the sound, but the rope stops him. Feels the goat, but then something grabs it and pulls it away. Solomon's hands are covered in blood. Solomon is scared, but keeps doing what he always does. One day, he hears a gunshot. He runs toward the sound and sees a dead deer. A man claims it is his. Solomon is scared and waves a knife. The man hits Solomon with his gun. Solomon wakes up near his house. The hunter is there. He apologizes for hurting Solomon and asks his name. He spots the name Lucas engraved on the knife and instantly assumes it belongs to the boy. But to his surprise, the boy reveals that it is his father's name, a father who is no longer around. The hunter, feeling a twinge of guilt, apologizes again, assuring the boy he means no harm. Spying the rope, Hunter scoops him up and carries him back to the house. Introducing himself as Hank, the man curiously probes why such a young boy lives alone and where his parents are. But Solomon stays silent, keeping his secrets close. As dusk falls, Hank asks to spend the night in the house. He offers painkillers as a trade. The boy, clueless about what pills are, refuses. Not one to give up easily, Hank sweetens the deal by promising to cook a hot meal with the deer he catches. And finally, Solomon agrees. As Hank explores the house, it dawns on him that the boy has never stepped beyond these walls. He is completely unaware of the world outside. Meanwhile, Solomon listens to his mother's last message, huddled in the corner of his room, feeling uneasy with this stranger under his roof. Hank finds homemade books that Solomon's mother made for him and feels sorry for the boy. He is kind and offers the young man some soup. He also offers to help the boy leave the forest and live in a big city. But Solomon refuses, which Hank thinks is because Solomon loves his home. Hank himself doesn't have a home. He asks again about the parents, saying the boy looks like the woman in the photo. Perhaps that is his mother. After dinner, they go to bed. Solomon doesn't let go of his knife, but he finally lies down, realizing Hank isn't a threat. In the middle of the night, a loud and scary noise wakes them up. Sounds like a monster. Hank grabs his flashlight and gun and goes outside. It is quiet, so he goes into the forest. He finds blood on a tree and realizes an animal has died there. He sees something strange in the bushes and shoots at it, but the creature jumps out and roars at him. Hank runs back to the house. Inside, he sees Solomon doing something strange. He is swaying and humming and doesn't respond to the man. Hank leaves him alone, thinking he's scared the monster away. He promises to help Solomon leave the forest and live a normal life. One morning, Hank discovers Solomon in the shed, trying to fix the old wooden door. The door is broken, and Solomon struggles to repair it. Hank offers to help, since he has all the tools he needs except for a strong chain. Solomon remembers finding a chain in the woods as a child. He leads Hank to the spot, and the man is amazed at how well Solomon knows the way. Solomon explains that he used a rope as a guide, and that it was the only way to survive in the forest. Soon they find the spot where Solomon hid the chain. Hank grabs it and pulls, but it is attached to something. He follows the chain and finds a small hole in the ground. Inside, he discovers a pair of metal shears, which surprises him. He cuts off a piece of the chain and returns to the house. While Hank repairs the door, Solomon asks for a piece of venison. Hank gives him a piece, and Solomon throws it into the bushes. Hank is curious and asks why. Solomon explains that his parents taught him to share everything he takes from the forest. Hank believes this is why they hear strange noises in the forest at night. He suggests setting traps to catch the creature and protect Solomon. He also lengthens the rope, allowing Solomon to explore more of the forest. They head in the direction where Hank saw the creature. As they walk, something grabs the rope and pulls Solomon. Hank chases after him and finds Solomon alone, comforts the boy, and assures him that the creature will not enter the house. Hank finds Solomon's mother's diary and reads it to him. Solomon listens intently, a thoughtful smile on his face. But Hank stops reading when he reaches a terrifying part. He doesn't want to scare Solomon, so he says it's late and they should go to sleep. Before bed, Solomon listens to his mother's recording. Hank leaves the house and goes to the place where they found the chain. He sees wet bones near the hole and realizes it is the creature's lair. Solomon wakes up and looks for Hank. Hank approaches the lair with his rifle ready. He sees a notebook similar to the one in Solomon's house, but it is filled with strange drawing. He decides it isn't important and leaves it there. Solomon realizes Hank is missing. He sits on the porch and listens to his mother's recording. Suddenly, he hears a gunshot. He grabs the rope and runs into the forest. He finds Hank's backpack and knows Hank is nearby. The rope ends, and for the first time, Solomon breaks the rule and takes it off. He crawls around and finds Hank's lifeless body. He mourns his loss when he hears someone behind him. It is Solomon's mother, looking terrifying and disheveled. She makes inhuman sounds and charges at him, but the chain holds her back. Solomon hums a childhood melody to calm his fear. The woman stops and then she starts humming too. Solomon recognizes her. He walks toward her slowly, and when she lunges at him, she falls on a knife and dies. Her eyes with strange vertical pupils go still. Solomon coughs and leans against a tree. He hears a crow and looks up. His eyes change to vertical pupils. He has inherited his mother's illness and is now the new forest beast. The movie ends here.